I don't know about you, but I'm forever grateful. No greater love than this. John 15:13 says that a man who would lay down his life for a friend. Matthew the 27th chapter, starting at the 27th verse, and I'm reading from the Message Bible. The soldiers assigned to the governors took Jesus into the governor's palace. They got the entire brigade together for some fun. They stripped him and dressed him in a red toga. They plaited a crown from branches and thorn bush, and they sat it on his head. They put a stick in his right hand for a scepter. Then they knelt before him, mocking and reverence. "Bravo, King of the Jews," they said. Then they spit on him. Then they hit him in his head with a stick. Once they had their fun, they took off the toga and put his own clothes back on to him. And then they proceeded out to the crucifixion. Along the way, they came on a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they made him carry Jesus' cross. Arriving at Golgotha, the place they call the Skull Hill, they offered him a mild painkiller. It was a mixture of wine and myrrh. But when he tasted it, he would not drink it. After they had finished nailing him to the cross and waiting for him to die, they while away the time by throwing dice for his clothes. Above his head they had posted the criminal charges against him. This Jesus, the King of the Jews. Along with him they also crucified two criminals. One to his right and the other to his left. People were passing along the road. They jeered and shaking their heads in mocking him. They said, "You brag that you could tear down the temple and then rebuild it in 3 days. So go ahead and show us your stuff. Save yourself. If you're really God's son, come on down off of that cross." High priests, along with the religious scholars and the leaders, were right there mixing it up with the rest of them, having a great time poking fun at him. They said, "He saved others, but he can't save himself. King of Israel is he. Then let him get down from that cross." Well, all become believers then. He was so sure of God. Well, let him rescue his son now. He did claim to be the Son of God, didn't he? Even the two criminals crucified next to him, they joined in the mockery. From noon to 3, the whole earth was dark. Around mid-afternoon, Jesus groaned out the depths, crying aloud, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you abandoned me?" Some of the bystanders who heard him said, "He's calling for Elijah." One of them ran and got a sponge and they soaked it in sour wine and lifted it on a stick so he could drink. The others joked, "Don't be in such a hurry. Let's see if Elijah comes and saves him." Jesus, again crying out loudly, breathed his last. And at that moment, the temple curtain was ripped in two, from top to bottom. There was an earthquake, and the rocks were split in pieces. What's more, tombs were opened up, and many bodies of believers asleep in their graves were raised. After Jesus' resurrection, they left the tombs and entered the holy city and appeared to many. The captains of the guard and those with him, when they saw the earthquake and everything else that was happening, were scared to death. They said, "This has to be the Son of God." There were also quite a few women watching from a distance. Women who had followed Jesus from Galilee in order to serve him. Among them were Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and Mary the mother of Zebedee's brothers. Late in the afternoon, a wealthy man from Arimathea, a disciple of Jesus, arrived. His name was Joseph. He went to Pilate and he asked for Jesus' body. Pilate granted his request. Joseph took, would you close the back doors, please? Took the body and wrapped it in clean linens. He put it in his own tomb. It was a new tomb, only recently cut into the rock. He rolled a large stone across the entrance. Then he went off, but Mary Magdalene and the other Mary stayed sitting in plain view of the tomb. After sundown, the high priest and the Pharisees arranged a meeting with Pilate. And they said, "Sir, we just remembered that liar announced while he was still alive that after 3 days, he said, 'I'll rise again.' We've got to get the tomb sealed until the 3rd day. For there's a good chance his disciples will come and steal the corpse and then go around saying, 'He has risen from the dead.' Then we'll be worse off than before." Final deceit surpassing the first. Pilate told them, "You will have a guard. Go ahead and secure it the best you can." They went out and secured the tomb, sealing the tomb and posting guard. Hallelujah. So here we are to worship. Here we are to bow down. Here we are.